Hi, I'm Jordan Brown, and I will be covering chapters 6 through 8 in the book The Eyes Are Watching God. Um, in this chapter, um, everyone is terrorizing Sam's mule, and Janie thinks it's really cruel and inappropriate, and Joe buys the mule so it can be free. Joe and Sam haggle for the price of the mule, and it shows kind of how pompous Joe is. Um, but now that the mule is free, it kind of brings the town closer together, and because everyone kind of pitches in to care for the mule. Um, but the mule eventually dies, and everyone goes to bury it or take it to a field so the vultures can eat it. But Joe won't let Janie attend it. She has to stay and watch after the store, even though there's like no one in the town. Um, Janie begins to like stand up for herself and talk back mainly to Joe, and it shows kind of how Janie realizes that there is very big injustices that Joe is like making. Um, Joe is making Janie work more and more at the post office and store, basically to the point where Janie like hates and dreads the jobs and Joe. And Janie is cutting tobacco in the store one day, and she cuts it wrong, and the guy Sam, who is getting it cut, tries to make a joke out of it and tells Joe that she still can't cut it. So then with that, Joe and Janie begin to like fight very loudly and verbally in the store with like the whole town around them and watching. And Janie's winning, but then Joe eventually runs out of like comebacks and smacks Janie really hard to where it drives her out of the store. And then the quote we chose, or the most important event, was when Janie stands up for herself. And a quote from this section of this book is on page 80, and it says, "There was nothing to do in life anymore. Ambition was useless, and the cruel deceit of Janie, making all that show of humbleness and scorning him all the time, laughing at him and now putting the town up to do the same. Joe Starks didn't know the word for all of this, but he knew the feeling, so he struck Janie with all his might and drove her from the store." And this just kind of shows that Janie is actually really beginning to stand up for herself, and she's like finding out the truth. And because of it, Joe doesn't really know what to do or say anymore.